Hello everyone, I'm George from Ireland. So I'm in Milan, Italy, and I'm about to show you perhaps the most magnificent shopping mall in the world. Shopping centre is really a gallery, right? Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II, as it's named after King Victor Emmanuel II. So here we see, it goes open to the air and it's got that skylight, I suppose you call it. They're right beside Piazza del Duomo, as in the cathedral square. So Milan is Italy's second largest city, and Il Duomo, as in the cathedral, is the second largest Christian place of worship in the world. There you can see it behind me. So about to go more into this, the shopping centre. So Giuseppe Megnoni built this place in 1867, or began building it. Didn't quite see it finished, he died 10 years later. So it's built just after Il Risorgimento, as in the resurgence, that's Italy becoming an independent country. In a sense, for the first time. I know we can go back to ancient Rome, but that was really the Roman Empire conquering out from Rome, and some people in other parts of Italy didn't regard themselves as Roman for a while, eventually became Roman citizens. Okay, don't want to dip too much into history, but anyway, look at that gelato, as in literally like frozen cream with sugar, ice cream. But look at the detail up there, look at the handiwork, it's gone into that. They don't make it like that. And you'll see certain motifs. I wish I had zoom on this. You see the horses' heads coming out of the waves. You see little cherubs and things, and plants and fish entwined around some pole, things like that. There are various, like an amphora, flowers, the head of cherubim and seraphim, and over there, is it some, Hercules holding up the globe on his shoulders, and then some topless female figure holding up a bowl of flowers, and on and on. You'd have to come here and inspect it. We could be here all day. So a lot of it's quite individual. Almost every panel, I suppose, and every pillar is a little bit different, but some common themes. So, and then way up top, way up top, you see those figures up top. There's not a great angle from which to see them. You can buy books which show you in great detail what the place is like. So it's lovely. Anyway, Milan is somewhat open. It's basically open, but you have to wear masks in public. I'm told there's a €5,000 fine if you don't. I mean, I accidentally didn't wear one. Obviously, if you're eating or drinking, you're allowed to wear them. Bars and restaurants are open. A bit of social distancing going on. On the plane, everyone was wearing a mask, but the plane was like 3/4 full. So anyway, so look at the mosaics down there, the patterns. Quite visually pleasing, and it's in very good nick, as you can see. It underwent a major restoration in 1967, so after being open for a century. And all sorts of shops here, a bookshop here. Now some shops haven't bothered reopening, especially the boutique, okay, selling clothes, Chanel, okay, Milan being one of a world centre for fashion. And I can't remember, we're quite near to Teatro alla Scala, as in the world's most famous opera house, meaning theatre at the ladder or at the staircase, like scale. In English we scale things, not player scale, not that sort of scale, or scale as in of a reptile. But anyway, at Teatro alla Scala, in about 2000, had a typically Milanese thing, a facelift, or a Milanese lady d'une certain âge. It needed one, although Teatro is masculine, but ho hum. See, Massimo Dutti, one of the most famous Italian shirt makers. Though he had to move his shirts a lot, I don't think it was a shirt lifter. Oh, that was a low blow. Okay, so a restaurant in there, but this one, Gracco, is open. Look at the balconies up there. What a splendid view you could have, people watching. And you're also fragrant here. That's the thing I don't understand about the Italians, is their food is so utterly delectable. How come most of them are slim? Well, I suppose an Italiana is magra, because she's a balanced diet of cigarettes and ice cream. Okay, so here we are in the central, what would you call it, like crossroads almost, of this Galleria. So it's a gallery, not an art gallery, so you'd rent the individual shop units. And then have a look down some of the mosaics. Okay, Romulus and Remus being suckled by the she-wolf, SPQR, Senatus ac Populam quae Romae. I hope I got it wrong, I'm dreadful at Latin. So the Senate and people of Rome, and you see it around all the time, so they're very keen to remember their past Roman glory. And there's so many more things to see. Okay, so we're in the region of Lombardia, or Lombardy we usually say in English, And then you see that's coat of arms right there. City of Milan, you see sometimes it's flag and coat of arms as well. Okay. And then Fert, F-E-R-T, I don't know what that means. Seeing Fert so many times around here. Okay. Now, there's Prada, another very famous Italian fashion label. And there up high, you can see the cross of St. George with the crown above it. So that's for Milan, a symbol for Milan. And I'm not sure what muses those two women with the laurel wreaths represent. Okay, and up here, a figure a bit like Cleopatra, a topless Egyptian lady, looks like, with that sort of snake headdress thing, and the ears of corn being held out to her. There's no asp in sight. Now, and how about up here? So this woman, this feather bonnet, she looks distinctly European. And behind her a man with a feather bonnet as well. And the big coin beside her says Colombo, as in Christopher Columbus, who the Italians claim possibly from Genoa, possibly Catalan. And the eagle over here, like for America, so they're very keen to stay in touch with their diaspora community in the United States. And look at these various male and female topless figures here, just below it, below those windows. There's so many of them. And what's over here on this one? I don't know who this represents. Some woman beside a column, and there's a globe, and there's an angel holding out a laurel wreath. Ships in a cloud beyond, some huge horse like the Trojan horse behind. Is it to do with how the Romans said they were descended from the Trojans, possibly that myth, you know, the Aeneid? And over here, this figure here, this woman in the huge dress looking towards an Oriental man. So the symbolism we can try and work out for ourselves. And right up the other end here, you see that other coat of arms. I don't know what it represents. On a gold background, a female topless figure to the right, a woman in a toga to the left. Anyway, so it is splendid. There's Louis Vuitton. Okay, they let the French get a foothold too. But yeah, as I say, some of these shops are closed. I just don't think there'll be enough foot traffic, not worthwhile. I mean, I think maybe that's foolish. Come on, at least give people a chance to sell at least a few things. They'll be able to browse a little bit before they feel that they're making an investment. Some people lost so much money they can't afford to buy these things. So it makes me wonder, is it wise to have a society based on rampant consumerism, buying far more things than we need? And would we have broken the habit when you haven't been shopping for a few months, just not necessarily rush out to realise you can be quite happy without it? Giorgio Armani, Gucci. I haven't seen Dolce & Gabbana, set up by two Italian men about 1980. Their surnames mean sweetened coat. Now, was there a Mr. Gucci? Good question, I don't actually know. It's not pronounced Gucci or Gucky. A bit like Boggi, don't call it Boggy. BRICS, no, I think it's not those emerging economies like Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. Oh, look at all these ties. All the colours of the rainbow, lovely ties in the window there. And in a minute we're going to see churches, English shoes. They're going to be handmade, not as in a place of worship, but as in Mr. Church. On Regent Street in London, one of the main drags there, they've got churches as well. They're